What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be speaking about potentially 5 players that City could look at to replace Leroy Sane. Of course, this is coming in fresh from the news yesterday that Leroy Sane wants to leave Manchester City, so City will now be taking a good long hard look at a potential replacement. So I've identified 5 players that City may well take a look at to try and bring in to Manchester City. Before I crack on with this video though, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content and you want to see more of my content, then make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. I'm of course rolling out Manchester City transfer updates on a regular basis. They'll be going daily when the transfer market does open for the summer, so make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. I'm aiming for 7,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also my social media links, you can find them in the description below. I'm popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and let me know your thoughts of these players and who you want Manchester City to sign to replace Leroy Sane. Let me know them in the comments below. Before I crack on with this video though, very quickly, I'm going to be doing another live stream with a live match reaction and watch along of the Manchester City home match against Burnley on Monday evening. I'll be putting out the link for the live stream probably either Sunday evening or Monday sometime before the game for you to stay tuned. To make sure if you enjoyed the live stream, and I did enjoy doing it for the last game against Arsenal, then you got that to look forward to again on Monday evening.
2,000 years later.
So the first player we're going to have a look at is a player that we've been linked with previously, Ferran Torres. He's a 20-year-old Spanish winger, plays for Valencia. Apparently they're wanting cash and they're wanting it now. He's got a release clause of 100 million euro. They know that they're not going to get the 100 million euro, and so instead they'll lower that price. Teams will obviously be happy with the lower price and will be willing to meet it. They'll probably then hope for some kind of transfer battle to try and drive that price up a little bit. I've heard on the grapevine roughly around £50 million is what they're looking for. Man City are linked, Liverpool are linked, Atletico Madrid are also linked, and so that's what I mean. I'm saying they're going to lower that price, half of what they're looking for from the release clause, and then try and drive it up a little bit with interest in the player. He's only got 1 year left on his contract, and so Valencia, they're wanting to cash in now on the 20-year-old winger. Good player, Ferran Torres, highly regarded at Valencia, 20 years old too, next future prospect. It is an option for Manchester City. The next player we're going to have a look at is Mikel Oyarzabal. Now, he has got a release clause of somewhere between, I've heard conflicting reports, somewhere between 60 and 68 million euro. That's according to several sources, different sources quoting a different figure, all of them between 60 and 68 million pounds. He's got a good passing style to him. He's a quality winger, highly rated by Real Sociedad. Teams, or should I say people that have watched teams in La Liga and have seen Oyarzabal on a regular basis actually say that he's a really good quality winger who would really suit the passing style of football that Pep Guardiola likes, and there is a reason that Barcelona are also being linked with Oyarzabal. He's 23 years old, playing for Real Sociedad. It's a doable transfer. 68 million euro might be a tad expensive. City, though, they like release clauses, and like I said, they get a good price for Leroy Sane, then they may well have a good look at Oyarzabal. So that is another option out there, and he has been linked with Manchester City now for the last 12 months or so. So it is, again, like Ferran Torres, another option for City to consider. Now, the next player we're going to speak about is Kingsley Coman, the 24-year-old French winger, plays for Bayern Munich. This is a realistic transfer because this could well be used as the make weight in the negotiations to break that deadlock between Manchester City and Bayern Munich over Leroy Sane. Bayern Munich are willing to pay roughly around £36 million. Manchester City are wanting double that, nearly at £70 million, and so they need a make weight there. So could a little bit of cash from Bayern Munich plus Kingsley Coman swayed City to be able to sell Leroy Sane and bring in a winger so we don't have to worry about a replacement? I do not know. 24 years old though, he's a quality player. There is absolutely no doubt that when he's on top form and he can be bothered, he is a quality winger. Pep will need to get the best out of him for that to happen. He lacks consistency, though, at times this season. He's injury prone too. That's where my concerns are. And so I'm not sure. I'd like to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. But I think the biggest question, even past the injury problems, is could Pep get the most out of Kingsley Coman? If there's a manager out there that's going to get the most out of a player, you start automatically thinking Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp. So, yeah. Now, another player being strongly linked with Manchester City, and it is an option, is Jadon Sancho. It's really interesting, so just take me out there. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments below. City have the option to match a bid for Jadon Sancho if that offer is accepted by Borussia Dortmund. So let's say Manchester United, for example, have an offer of £80 million accepted for Jadon Sancho. Manchester City have the option then to bid £80 million, match that bid, and have that bid accepted as well by Borussia Dortmund. So basically, Manchester City have been kept in the loop with negotiations of what's happening with Jadon Sancho. Okay, so Borussia Dortmund would have to accept that bid. That's a little bit of the clause that they've got. So yeah. Anyway, City apparently they've got a 15% sell-on fee for Jadon Sancho. So if he's sold to Manchester United, City will get 15% of that deal. That was as part of the deal which saw Jadon Sancho leave Manchester City. I'm presuming it's part of the compensation deal with Borussia Dortmund, which saw them sign Jadon Sancho on a free contract from Manchester City, because he never signed a professional deal with Manchester City, but they did offer him it. But Sancho has said that he would consider rejoining Manchester City. So that's interesting. We have a 15% sell-on fee there that potentially City could have a 15% discount on the player. But that's just speculation. It's unrealistic that City's going to pay big money for a winger. And by big money, I don't mean what we've paid before. So 50, 60, even 65 million pounds. I'm talking well above 70, into the 80s, 90, 100 million pounds, like Manchester United would be willing to pay, I reckon, between 80 and 100 million pounds, whereas Manchester City would not. Now, this is a situation that we're in. We're in a situation where we need to go, if we want to bring Sancho in, we need to break our transfer strategy. I imagine that City would probably be happy to pay somewhere between 50 and 60 million pounds, depending on how much we get for Leroy Sane. I'm going to presume that Bayern Munich potentially will meet us halfway, and it'll be somewhere between 50 and 60 million pounds. And so we sell a winger, we sign a winger roughly around the same price, we break even that way, problem solved. We carry on with our transfer window as normal with a replacement for Leroy Sane there. Now, do you sign somebody, or do you want Jadon Sancho? And my question is, do you pay that extra 20 million pounds and sign a player that is homegrown and potentially could be at Manchester City for 10, 15 even seasons at Manchester City? That's the situation that we're at with Jadon Sancho, and there's no doubting he is quality, and it's one of them situations like Kingsley Coman. Could Pep Guardiola then work around Jadon Sancho and get the best out of him? I don't know. It's an interesting one. It is. It's a really interesting one, and I would like to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. Now, before I get on to the last target, just going to put out a couple of honourable mentions out there quickly. So, one player that City could look at, Ousmane Dembele, the 23-year-old French winger from Barcelona. Just like Kingsley Coman, he's a bit injury-prone. He's shown glimpses of being sensational, but he's inconsistent other times, not so much. He has a huge €400 million release clause, which made me laugh, which is obviously not going to be met. But still, he would require a big fee to prize him away from Barcelona. Pep and Barcelona do have a good working relationship, though, so a transfer perhaps, but I doubt it. That's why he's not made my 5-player list. Another player, price concern again, is Adama Traore, the dynamic 24-year-old Spanish winger playing for Wolves. He's rapid, would cause lots of problems when City are going on the counter-attack like we like to. I think he'd fit into Manchester City's system very well. However, Wolves are wanting more than £100 million. City will not be paying that, and one concern I have over Adama Traore, and I know he's put in sensational performances against City this season, and he's dynamic, he's quick, and he'd cause problems. He does lack consistency. He shows glimpses of being great, glimpses of not being so great, and so he's one of them players I feel like would thrive in the big occasion when there's moments where you're wanting the team to really get stuck in and work hard, you know, them nitty-gritty games. I just don't feel like Adama Traore probably would be the right man, but I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. Another player, Kai Havertz, 21-year-old German attacking midfielder, can play on the right-hand side as well, so he can play out wide. City's name is out there for the Bayer Levekusen man. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid Madrid, Chelsea are all interested too. Quoted in the press, £90 million that Leverkusen are looking for. So I feel like City's name just been put out there to boost the price up more than City being serious about replacing Leroy Sane with Kai Havertz. And another player, lastly on the honourable mentions, is a player that's already at Manchester City, of course, Jayden Braaf, the Dutch 17-year-old who's going to be 18 in August. Dutch winger. He wants to be promoted to the Manchester City first team squad. It's not happened at this moment in time because he's not currently with Manchester City. He's still in the Netherlands due to the pandemic. He's not come back over to Manchester City to start training. And so that's why he's not being called up to the first team squad. It'll be interesting when he is allowed back whether he will be promoted to the first team squad or not and how many minutes he'd get. Pre-season isn't going to be as normal, so he's not going to be given pre-season to be able to find his feet basically in the City first team squad. But is an option. If City don't sign a winger this summer, we struggle, we choose to spend the Leroy Sane money if we sell him on another player instead. I would like to see Jayden Braaf promoted to the first team squad within the next season, and if Leroy Sane chooses to run his contract down, I would like to see Jayden Braaf promoted to the first team squad, so it could potentially, if he is as promising as what's been suggested, that he could potentially be integrated into Manchester City's squad. And learns from Leroy Sane, and we'll utilise him in that way. Obviously, I won't be too happy about losing a quality player like Sane for free, but these things happen when you let players run down their contract, so he is another option for Manchester City. Now, the last player on my 5-player list that could replace Leroy Sane is Leon Bailey, the 22-year-old who is 23 in August, winger who plays for Bayer Leverkusen. He is very good friends with Raheem Sterling. They are both Jamaican. I've learnt, by the way, you don't need to leave in the comments now. I know that Leon Bailey speaks English. He's got friends already at Manchester City, so I wouldn't be concerned about him settling into life very quickly in England and in Manchester. Apparently available for an affordable price from Bayer Leverkusen, who apparently have quoted, and I thought they wanted more than 40 to 50 million pounds. Manchester United, who have no scouts, they've been linked as well. So I imagine Leverkusen might do, or hope, what I've mentioned in other players where they're hoping, like with Ferran Torres, for example, where they lower the price, get the bids in, and then with the interest there, concrete interest, to start upping that price to try and strive a hard bargain, and City normally walk away from that. But if he's available between 40 and 50 million pounds, that could well be a chance for Manchester City to not only sell Leroy Sane and replace him with a dynamic, quick winger, but also a chance for us to profit and make a little bit of net spend as well. But like I said, quick and agile would be an ideal replacement, in my opinion, for replacing Leroy Sane, and he would be my top pick. So there we go, that has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you want Manchester City to replace Leroy Sane with? Don't forget, subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Stay tuned for that live stream on Monday evening for the Manchester City versus Burnley match, with a live match preview, match watch along, match reaction, and match analysis after the game too. Looking forward to seeing everyone over there. And don't forget also social media links in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. You can also find my email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. I'll be back again tomorrow for a Manchester City transfer update. I've got plenty of updates, including another update on Leon Bailey potentially joining Manchester City. Got an update on a couple of other wingers too, so stay tuned for that. So I've been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you're all safe and well at this difficult time too, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Peace. Ciao for now.